Everything rises and falls on leadership. That is a common quote popularized by John C. Maxwell. In his book, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership on the Law of the Lead, he emphasizes that leadership ability determines the effectiveness of an individual, of a team, of an organization, because leadership sets the direction, it influences the culture, and shapes decision making. The success or the failure of an organization or a team or a family is determined by the quality of the leadership. That is true. I have been in spaces, in places where that really is evidenced. And I am sure that as I mention this statement, everything rises and falls on leadership, there are already names of people in your mind that are popping up. Names of your CEO, names of your EG, names of your pastor, names of your family leader, names of your team leader. So many names of people that are coming into your mind as I mention this statement. But look, when we respond to that statement in that way, it diminishes the real meaning of what leadership is. Let's refocus leadership. Let's refocus leadership when that statement is mentioned. Everything rises and falls on leadership. Number one, we are all leaders. I am a leader. You are a leader. We are all leaders. Number two, leadership is not about position. We are all leaders, and leadership is not by position. What that means is you do not have to be the CEO in your company. You don't have to be the team leader. You don't have to be your father or your mother. You don't have to have a position of authority to lead. When we talk about that statement and our minds quickly switch to the person in the place of leadership, we are giving away our power to influence the situation, to influence things that are happening within that space, within that team, within that organization. From today, if you've come across this video and you have had that mindset before, this is the mindset change I am calling you to. Every time you hear that statement, choose your response. Use what Stephen Covey calls the freedom to choose your response, the space between stimulus and response. Use it very, very intentionally. Every time you hear that statement and say, I am the lead. In the law of the lead, I am the lead. If everything in my family, if everything in my team, if everything in my organization rises and falls on leadership, it is rising and falling on my leadership. Yes, oftentimes when we've talked about everyone is a leader, leadership is not by position, we know that, but going ahead to put that into practice, to live it out in those spaces, even becomes hard because our minds think someone has to be in charge of this situation. Someone has to say something for us to act. When you think about growth or success or failure in your organization, in your team, I want you to know from today onwards that it is not about your leadership team. It is about everyone within that organization. If we all agree that there is no perfect organization because organizations are made up of people who are imperfect, that also means that everything that happens within a team, within an organization, within any space that has to do with people is not just as a result of a few people. It is a collective result of everyone that makes up that space. Everything rises and falls on the leadership of every single person within your team, within your organization, within your space. I hope to come back and speak about how we can use leadership, even when we are not in position, to influence what is happening in our spaces, in our families, in our teams, in our organizations. But remember, everything rises and falls not on your ED's leadership, but also on your leadership in that space. Thank you for listening to me. You are amazing. Bye-bye.